The starboard ain't big enough for the both of us.
You sure ain't, boy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Division 2 of the CSC Challenger Series, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. This is the King Seat match, and it features a couple of great players in Brett Hollinday and John Edwards. Sean Green, joined by my partner in comms, the great Nick Durachi Teixeira. Durachi, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I am excited to be here commentating some great games and another King Seat match in the CSC Challenger Series. That actually hurt more than I expected. I'm just going to keep playing it off. But no, Brett Hollinday trying to go for a two-time title position. Well, if you win tonight's matchup, you're looking likely. But, of course, John Edwards, the man of the season, right, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. He has the highest average heading into this. As of a couple weeks ago, he had a over 5.0 average. It's dropped down to a 4.91. He's starting to come back to earth a little bit. Brett Hollinday's average continues to go up a little bit. So I think that this is going to be a great battle tonight. And man, Brett Hollinday's experience might get the job done, but John Edwards is the giant killer.
Yeah, and again, the experience, you mentioned it there. Brett's been in enough of the seasons of this. He's done well enough in the CSC as well. He has a lot of that writing on his side. This is not untreaded territory. John, however, I mean, he's the one that, yes, you have the stats behind you, but now you have to back up what the stats are saying. And that's always a little bit easier said than done.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think it's going to be a great matchup. Monday's matchup was fantastic between Ram and Mike. I think tonight could be similar. Last leg decider, going the distance. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great battle with a lot of dynamite drop tonight.
I agree. Let's go ahead and talk about some of our participants a little bit closer in depth. Brett Hollinday, the legend, vendor Midwest Coin and location Legends Bar. He claims this is his only sponsor because he owns it. 18 years played, averaging a 4.69 with a 120 on the All-Star rank list. So pretty high up there at the start of the season. Throwing some darts from a drawer, classic Brett Hollinday fashion.
Yeah, and I love how he's been on the CSC now for 9 seasons, and he still has not figured out what darts they are, or gotten his own set even at this point in time. He's done enough things to where he probably should, but yeah, heading into this, 29 9 marks with 3 white horses. No, sorry, that's the wrong person. 27 9 marks. He has 6 white horses. He is leading the white horse race by double the next closest person. 78 7 marks, 79 5 marks, and 58 games played. Their win percentage, by the way, identical, 62.1%, which is really interesting. And his tail to get to this point, Christian Broussard, Mike Segal, Zach Fuchs, and Corey Beck. So 2 former champions to get to this point.
Yeah, quite the resume that Brett has, not only with the experience, but backing it up well this season with another solid performance. And we know right now, 4.69, we have to remember the season he won, he averaged a 5. He played so well that we were like, oh, we don't know if that should be like the norm. Should we add the relegation and promotion to this? And here we are with the other gentleman tonight, John Edwards, who is right at that 5-0 mark.
Yeah, toys for Excel Entertainment, playing at Q and Feather again. And he's been playing for 30 plus years. We talked about his average. It is the highest in Division 2, a 4.91 heading into this, 755 on that All-Star rank list. And he throws those QSOL Keith West 20-gram darts. So one of those monsters players in John Edwards, loves to get the job done. But Correctionville, Iowa, he has 29 9 marks with 3 white horses, 88 7 marks, 99 5 marks, and again 58 games played, and the win percentage is exactly identical to Brett Hollanday's.
Now, I might be projecting a little bit when talking about John versus the actual reality. And what I'm saying here is he really hasn't shown the nerves at all. He has the interview you guys will see later. They're both in person. We filmed it at TOC, which is really cool. I love it when that happens. Was a great conversation between these guys, but the nerves don't seem very present. I'm just assuming like, oh, well, in this position, you're later in the season, average is showing a little bit of a decline. You might be feeling it at all. Is that a fair assessment of John here?
It could be. And he did talk about how he can't really rely on the averages heading into this match in the interview, but it all is going to come down to Brett's a scrappy player. We talk about it every time. He is a never say die type of an opponent. He's going to continue to put pressure on John, and I think that might be the difference tonight in the matchup is the pressure that he can put on. But let's go. If you never watched before, let's go over that format and specific rules of the CSC Challenger Series real quick. Double elimination style tournament. This is the winner side king seat match. The players will play a race to 9, best of 17 legs, all cricket with a cork or 3-dart count up to start that match, which we just saw there go to John Edwards. The loser of the previous leg will start the next leg after that. And if either player is down 3 or more legs, they will continue to go first until that deficit is reduced to 2 legs. I don't see that happening tonight, but you never know. That's the PPD player advantage rule. And Nick, if we go the distance.
And we go for speed, Sean.
Those players will cork for start in that last leg decider, which I think we're going to have. What's your scoreline prediction, my friend?
Oh, my scoreline prediction. Well, I said it since the start of the season in the pre-show. I've been Brett Hollinday through and through. No, I will say I do think the experience does reign true tonight, and I have a whole other reason that I did not tell you before we started the show. But now I'm done stealing your pick, Sean.
Well, boom goes the dynamite to get us started for Brett Hollinday, and my pick tonight is Brett Hollinday, and I did pick him in the pre-show as my favorite to win this season. And my favorite for Division 1 in the pre-show is on the king seat right now. So we'll see if my favorite for Division 2 can do the same thing. But Brett starting off with a 9 mark definitely helps my case. And I think he wins 9-8. I think this goes the distance. And I think that we are in for a great battle here.
Well, no matter what, this is set to be a great battle. As Brett's looking to try to break early on here. So there's something that he'll mention in the interview, but I got a chance to have a longer conversation with him after. So Brett actually had a near-death experience recently, and this is true. He was just ended up choking on a piece of food, and literally fell to the floor, couldn't breathe, was going through the game over screen in his mind. And Gina Hollinday's wife actually gave him the Heimlich, and he felt like his life was saved. And he said it affected him heavily. But now, as he does hit another 9 mark in this leg, he says that honestly, you don't have a lot of stress about things after coming off an experience like that so recently. So I think he's going to have the ability to play a little extra free tonight too.
That is honestly a shocking behind the scenes reasoning from you. And yeah, listen, when something like that happens, life becomes easier to deal with. That's for sure. And Brett Hollinday is 7-7-5 here in leg number 1 of Division 2 of the CSC Challenger Series king seat match. If he stays like this, which is impossible, well, this will be quick. But John Edwards is going to be able to fight back hard, and I think this is going to be a great matchup. Chat, who do you have? Let us know. Let us know where you're tuning in from. All that good stuff.
Did see a question here. What's ASR? That's the all-star rank. So when you're qualifying, you have to be in the top 1,000 of the all-star rank list. All that list there is just based off participation points in PBD leagues and tournaments. So therefore, these guys, their ratings there just shows how much they participated before the cutoff date, because they have a cutoff date before sending out the invites for shows like this.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you.
John averaging only 420 in this first leg, and a 7.07 from Brett Hollinday is going to set the bar for this king seat match of Division 2.
Well, Brett Hollinday right now is on track to have the highest ever CSC average.
Well, yeah, good call. Let me just Will Stewart it up and be like, I mean, yeah, 7 would be the highest average ever in CSC history. So of course, That's like saying he's throwing a 9.0.
Oh, if you guys are wondering where Will Stewart's at tonight, he has a tonsillectomy, so he'll be busy tonight, unfortunately. But we are excited to hopefully have him recovered soon.
Yep. So you know that hashtag. Where's Wildo?
Hashtag where's Wildo? As John, only a 1 mark on the Open, doesn't get maimed by any means by Brett, but does lose ground early on. And Brett Hollinday now has a mission. Can he win every leg tonight against the throw?
How about Tim Goodwin throwing in just an absolute cracker of a comment? The last leg average of Monday night's match, matching the first leg of tonight, the 7.07. And yes, I'm allowed to say it. I am one.
Oh boy, it's Wednesday night, folks, and it's a 7 mark from the legend Brett Hollinday. Sean, though, I have to say, like, when people like Tim Goodwin tune in, Mike Redman, your Millars of the world, either people that have either commentated before or have taken more of an armchair analyst type of role at some point. I really love getting the nuanced feedback from those guys. I love it when you see people that have been on this side of the ball giving some input there, because you can see some very different perspectives, huh?
Yeah, and when you talk about we had a little balk there from Brett. He was just going with the flow there and decided to change it up. And yeah, it's tough when that happens. You're not going to probably throw the best dart on dart 3 when that happens. But yeah, listen, I forget your question entirely, so I'm just going to pretend like I remembered it. And just
I like it when smart people that have commentated before or analyzed games give us comments.
Listen, because it makes us sound smart. And I don't know a whole lot about this game at this point, like shockingly less than I should, doing commentary for 5 years. And insight from the great players like Jeremiah Millar and Mike Maloney and some of those other fantastic human beings that know more than I do. It's always helpful.
Yeah, but if you had to correct their English papers, they would be in a lot of trouble. They're just the 7 from John. Really need to convert on the 9 to get the point lead back. Not going to make too big a difference, as Brett should be able to go ahead and grab the 2 16s plus a punch on the 20s.
Yeah, I like this route.
Here's the thing. If you're going to start the 20 there, you have to accept, okay, I'm staying up there till I get a triple. If I get a triple, I can swing it if I really want to. But there now leaves no 9 mark opportunity, or in this case, an 8 mark for John to close with the point lead. It's good math from Mr. Hollinday.
Well, and it's such a huge advantage with the high ground on the 20s versus the 16s. John's not going to be able to play point for point with that number unless Brett makes a mistake, which he's shown so far an inability to do that. I'm pretty sure that single 10 was one of the first misses of even a fat number that he was shooting at.
Yeah, I mean, it's a red hot start for Brett. Now, this is an interesting moment. John needed a 9 here. Can he close down this deficit? No, he can't. These are going to be the moments tonight, right? We talk about the 15s and 16s, but the difference between Division 1 and Division 2 a lot of times is when there is a clutch 9 mark to turn things around, it is hit. If you are the one hitting those tonight, you're going to be fine, because right there, John could have absolutely saved the leg right at the tail end. Everything else didn't matter if he hits a 9 right there. And he can. Yep. He absolutely can.
Oh, 100%. John Edwards, when we first did the CSC, he was the giant killer. He was the person who put big names in the loser side of the bracket in Division 1. So the talent of John Edwards is 100% there. It's just whether or not he can time it perfectly, and he did not in that first round. Even with the 4 bowls, not going to be enough. Brett does win that second leg. Both legs against the throw for Brett Hollinday to get the start too. 4-6-4. Edwards throwing a 4-2 and a 4-0. He's going to have to pick that up and get closer to his actual average if he wants to compete against Hollinday.
Yeah, he's starting off a little bit colder than he would have preferred. now you already have a 2 leg separation. Some damage is done, but you can't really think about that. That's the one thing that's so nice about long format is, yes, there's a time to stress. Yes, there's a time to worry, but you also know if you can go on the run, if you can get the right rhythm, that's all that really matters. You can go around and flip the script. Now, of course, if the other guy matches you, well, then, you're out of luck. But right now, it's too early to draw any lines yet, unless Brett keeps up what he's doing.
How about that from John? He struggled on starting on the 20s, so he starts in the 19s there, basically giving Brett the high ground on the 20s. Do you like that move? Do you hate that move? Now, he missed the trip 20 on dart 3, but I don't hate it.
I don't hate the idea of starting at the 19s. That's not the issue because he's going to hit a 3 in the bed here.
Boom goes the dynamite.
It's not that I had an issue with him starting there. And listen, sometimes you need to seek inspiration on the dartboard. Sometimes you're just having trouble visualizing what you need to do, and having a little bit of a changeup can go a long way. But if that's the case, commit to that 19. Don't swing up for that big 7 mark if you're not feeling the 20s. If you're not feeling it, don't go for a 1 dart only at it. Either take the advantage of the higher ground and start there, or commit to the full 19s for the inspiration. In this case, I would have said 19s. Look how well he's hitting them.
I mean, now I really like the idea of him starting on the 19s.
I think I can hear Will Stewart in the background of Sean's mic.
Yep, that'd be good old Savvy Lynn. And boom goes the dynamite from Brett Hollinday. And that is the problem with giving the 20s up, is that 9 mark is unable to be matched by John Edwards no matter what he does on the 19s. He's only 9 points back of that.
This is also unfortunate, right? John now clearly picking up his game early on, and Brett just matching it and putting a little bit extra sauce on it. It's tough. It's a good fight. It's a great fight even between these two right now. But Brett Hollinday has the advantage going second, given the free 20s.
Yeah, how about this, man? This is gross. Boom goes the dynamite again for Hollinday. Unbelievable. A 7.75 playing a 6.25. The 6.25 with the throw is down 101 points after 12 darts thrown in this leg of darts. That tells you, welcome to Division 2 King Seat.
And right there, if Brett Hollinday closes the 17s, he basically locks in a 3-0 lead. John had to hit a 3 in the bed on the 17s to have a 1-point lead. And now if the numbers go, that's 2 numbers down. You're almost 200 points away, and Brett Hollinday is just off to the races. This is, again, if I'm John, I'm thinking there's a long, long night ahead of me. But every time you lose a leg, when he's throwing like this, he should be winning this leg. He's going first. He's averaging over a 5. But right now, when you're going against something like that, it either gets you really kicked and going, or it really makes you start questioning what's about to happen tonight.
Yeah, listen, right now I'm questioning everything that's happening tonight. As you should. Brett he can't keep this up, right? Like, he is on fire right now. 2 of these first 3 legs throwing well above a 6. Well, after plenty of rounds.
And they're also placating to the audience here. They both have 6-7 in their averages. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
And this is death by 1,007 marks. The only difference is that Brett's hitting 9s.
Well, and here he has control. He has 2 houses. He can start the 16s, walk the dog, and now go back to point for security. No, he stays. That's the only opening he's given. If I'm John, there's a strong argument right now. Trip 15, single 17, double 20. Leave it 4-3 on the Bulls. Does not get the trip 15, so he's going to be stuck to stay. Every dart here is to try to add Bulls. That'll help.
Yeah. Yeah, good adjustment after the first start. Brett is usually aggressive in these scenarios. Trip 20, he'll go right down to the 15s. And this is about the time where Brett's going to hit a 9 mark. Not going to do here, but down to the 15s. Oh, hits the trip 10 instead. Now there's a huge opening for John Edwards.
Yeah, big swings, big times, big moments. We talked about this match will be defined by shots like this. Gets the go ahead.
17?
Should be 20. The reason it should be 20 there is because if he doesn't hit the trip, he knows he gets an extra dart at points. If you hit the single 17, then you're going up to 20s. And if you don't close, then you don't have any extra padding. So that's the idea behind that shot.
All right, fine.
You hate how much you like that.
Well, I hate how much I have to agree with your logic there. I personally don't think logically on that shot. I think safety for me is getting rid of that second or that number just to feel kind of a little bit better about the turn altogether.
Yeah, and let me be very, very clear. If you're not a CSC player, the safer shot of the guaranteed close is more efficient for your darts, and that's what I would recommend. But in this case, in this moment, you have to bank on hitting exactly what you're aiming at in a shot like that. And there, it gave him a plan B, while the other way did not. But we're not CSC players, Sean.
No, we're not. And boom goes the dynamite again for Brett Hollinday. His third 9 mark in this leg. He's thrown a 5-8 to a 5-6, and he's about to go up 3-0 every leg against the throw.
This is quite the performance, living up to the legend moniker. They don't just give that to anybody.
Flynn. No, they don't. Ryan O'Flynn in the chat saying, every time I played John at TOC this year, he started on the 19. So something that he definitely does more often than not. And Brett Hollinday, a 5-7-2 in leg number 3. Nick, this is better than most Division I matches right now, the way Brett's performing. So that average has to be massive.
Let's take a peek at that, right? I mean, right now, John only has 1-9 to Brett's 5-9 marks tonight so far. John averaging a 4.49, so almost a half a mark below where he normally is, but is not throwing a very rough game so far. I mean, rough to his standards, yes, but in all honesty, it shouldn't be this dangerous position, except Brett Holliday's throwing a 5.81, Sean.
Yeah, that's decent. That would be leading Division I of the CSC Challenger Series in averages. Yeah, listen, if this is what happens tonight, John could just shrug his shoulders and be like, okay. But you can see he's already pressing. He started on the 19s, or started on the 20s that leg, then went down to the 19s, and then back up to the 20s on dart 3. He is reeling and dealing. Did he just put something in the chat?
Yeah, so John Edwards just turned around, put in the player chat, which is just me, the PPD admin, and Brett, and he just said, hey, what is going on? He's throwing a 6-7 right now.
Well, boom goes the dynamite. He goes in the chat, says that, and then immediately throws a 9 mark afterwards.
A little showboating there from Toys. I remember one of the first times, maybe not the first time, but one of the times I was commentating John. It was over at the Omaha Bullshooter, and for some reason, I knew his nickname involved the word toy, but I kept calling him Toy Box. So I was like, Toy Box back up there. Don't even know what that would mean in context.
Yeah.
Vaughn in chat giving you quite the compliment.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, both of us combined are probably decently close to a 4.0. Nick might be carrying the majority of that, but no, I'm about at most a 3-1 average of league. We'll see what it is.
So my league average at the start of the year, I was shooting a 4.1 and a 32. My current season is going very, very rough. And I'm currently shooting right around a 3.6 and 30. Rough to what I put a lot of pressure on my ability to perform. So I appreciate the compliment, but no, that's way different when you're these guys. I get stage fright when I play.
Yeah. You ain't a wolfin. I don't think that my hand shakes any more than right before I'm about to play on stream, even though I do this all the time, right? We talk all the time. I'm never nervous when it comes to doing this, but playing is a completely different scenario. I can mess up all the time here, and it doesn't affect me. If you mess up once against these guys, it'll cost you that leg.
Absolutely is. By the way, this is major CSC plot development. Mike Maloney and Troy Leroy in the chat at the same time right now. Troy, it's your favorite dart player. Mike, it's your biggest fan all together right now.
I love it.
I love John here rebounding quite well.
Yeah, I mean, but he has been throwing well. Like that's the crazy part. Brett's just fallen off this leg to a 4-2. How dare he? Probably going to throw a 9 mark here, though. Oh, no, he's not. But for once, John's going to get a leg pretty easily. I love this.
Yeah. Brett, yeah, no, I'm loving chat right now. This is great. I did see another comment here from Joshua. Agree to disagree. I think if you win Division 2, you should be moved up to Division 1 next year. So here's the tricky part about that, because it was a serious discussion. It wasn't actually necessarily about Brett Hollinday specifically, but something we were already considering. And you know, it's tricky because the average ranges of who makes the cut, who doesn't make the cut, make that hard, right? So like, are you forcing somebody down otherwise? Are you like, how would that work if, like, let's say Brett's average is a 4.9, he wins the season, and then the lowest average is, you know, kicked down. It just, there's a lot of tricky stuff with it also being participation based. So unfortunately, it just doesn't work too well with the system at place.
Well, 5-2-5 from John Edwards gets him the first leg on the board. Not the player advantage rule, as it's within 2 legs, so it will be Brett going first for the first time in the match. Brett Hollinday getting the start. John's got to show something now. He would really like to get to that break 4-3 on the score line. That can be done if he breaks right here. If he doesn't, it's probably more likely that it's going to be 5-2.
This is going to be the interesting moment because Brett's also getting the start, right? We haven't seen this yet with him properly getting it. Will he be able to take advantage of the momentum? Because once that first leg's in your direction, darts fly a little bit different for the rest of the match we typically see.
Well, we'll see. That's a good start from John, and he's able to start on his number with Brett going first. Maybe that's an advantage.
Honestly, it is. I think that's very fair to say. If you're a 19 preference shooter, going second doesn't feel like as much of a disadvantage, which even if it's just a mental victory, it's still a victory. Well, you can see the reaction there from Edwards. Not happy with that last start, the way it left his hand, and wanted a little bit more. Brett should be able to go for a 1-2-3 punch here if he wants, especially with the trip. He's going to stay. I don't like the stay. I think the goal was to find a triple, grab the 219s. Instead, he goes up there. The reason is he wants to avoid it being within a 9-mark range, and he would have needed at least one more 20 to do so. But now John has the opportunity to hit a 6 when you only had to hit a 5.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge difference, right?
Yeah, it's a difference of 1 mark.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is a huge difference depending on who you're talking to. And John's going to stay down there for all 3. Typical players would take a shot at the 20s on that third dart. Because John's been struggling on those 20s, I like the move to stay on the 19s.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Here's the thing. If you find 2 trips in a number, I'm not going to really blame you more often than not, unless it's the 15s versus the 20s type of scenario, for staying in that. Because let's be honest, our arm feel and repetition, you're more likely to hit that last start trip if you already found 2 than you are any other triple. And if you're curious about the data on that, it's made up. But I believe it's true.
I mean, you said it, so it must be.
It's the internet. No one lies. There you go. Last start trip 20 from John. Takes a swing there after having an uncomfortable second dart on the 19.
Look at Troy. Sneaky good at darts here. 5.13 in the Mickey Mouse plastic tip.
That's his 0-1 average, Sean.
No, he said ticky-tacky, which is cricket.
Yeah, that's fair. I just can't accept that Troy Leroy would beat both of us. No offense, Troy.
None taken, I'm sure.
Again, John showing the emotions. Very frustrated with that second dart.
Good last, though. Good last dart.
His recovery on dart 3 after dart 2 is pretty impressive. This is starting to feel very different very quickly, though. Brett is definitely slowed down. There's no way to shape that up any other kind of way, just because when you start off with a 7, a mid 4, and then a high 5, it feels very, very much like you're feeling the weight on your shoulders, the pressure if you're John. But John's just doing a good job of finding the momentum. I think that first leg really did make it a big difference.
Yeah, it's a situation where it seems like the turntables are turning a little bit in favor of John, and he has done a great job. You basically said it, of just withstanding this hot start from Brett. And that's what you have to do in this long format. You know that it's going to be a roller coaster at times, especially in Division 2. I mean, that's why they're in Division 2. So you just gotta hold on when your opponent's doing what Brett just did in the first 3 legs. But John is starting to pick up the pace here.
Yeah, you expect John's average to go up from that mid 4, and you expect Brett's average to go down from that high 5. When they meet in the middle, will there be enough ground made up by John, or will Brett have done enough good pre-work there to make sure he got through this shift on the dartboard?
I mean, John's in control now of this leg. See if he can just stick and move. He's stepping over to stay on the 19s for dart 2.
Yeah, it's 57 points. Now goes ahead and makes it a 114-point lead. Stays down there for a big 133 points scored and a significant lead. Putting the pressure on Brett. I don't mind this here. He has the better position. If he feels like he's okay with a gas out strategy, then let's see who runs out of the tank first.
I mean, John's banking on he does have the higher average heading into this match, a 4.91 versus a 4.69. That being said, it's a bold move tonight with the way Brett's been playing. But John's now starting to actually hit. He's starting to do what we expected out of him to start off with.
And, John said in his interview, you guys will see later on, than Sean referenced earlier, that he's not going to be able to bank on the average to get the results, right? I think that's one of my all-time favorite parts of watching Division 2, because, yes, we see upsets in Division 1 in certain rounds, and big moments happen from different players. But on average, you typically see the top 5 averages make the top 5 positions or somewhere near it, right? On Division 2, it's anybody's game. You're only thinking, have they played in the CSC before or not? That is the only variable that makes a big difference, in my opinion. And then secondly, have they played on the CSC stream before? Because this, unlike other streamed matches, typically has a little bit extra pressure associated. You got interviewed in advance, usually the night of, and except for this case where this was filmed at TOC. Yeah. On top of that, you're waiting for the go-ahead text. You're waiting for the break text. Like, there's extra factors that typically wouldn't weigh on your mind in an otherwise live streamed match.
I agree. And you can even point out the fact that there's people behind them watching the match that might not have been doing so if it wasn't on the live stream. Now we know Brett is going to fill up Legends every single time. And John has had his supporters in the background now for both of his streamed matches. But yeah, I think that this is a level playing field. The only difference is Brett has a championship.
That's a big distinction.
It could be.
I will say, Pickle in the chat here, you guys should do 2 streams, one with Sean commentary and one with just Nick commentary. Would be much higher tune-in rate for Sean. I thought we were friends. Don't know what I did, but thanks.
You know what? I'm starting to like Pickle.
I'm sure you do. It's not what I meant.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the match.
Hey, Mooney.
5, 6, 7. Sometimes Mooney saves the day. 5, 6, 7 playing a 4.92. And that is a dead center bull from Brett Hollinday.
Oh, unfortunate on that last, kind of got away just a little bit, but now with John's 6 mark on the 17s from the last go, or 19s, excuse me, should be able to punch us through. His bulls are a little shaky right now. Well, that bull sucked.
Another 19 gives an extra bull, but he's moving over to the bullseye. Yeah, and he hits the double. 5-5-4 defeats the 4-7-7 of Brett Hollinday. Yeah, as we head to leg number 6, score line 3-2. John has done what he needed to do to possibly make it 4-3 going into the break, and 4-3 is nothing.
Yeah, 4-3 is an absolute wash because that break reset changes everything. It's a good equalizer in these matchups. Admittedly, a little bit of a shorter break today just because of their interviews being done together, but it's going to be very interesting to see what Brett does. Can he get that momentum back? His last 2 legs, 4.29, 4.77. So he's slowed down. He's still averaging a 5.3 on the night. John's brought up from a 4.49 to a 4.85. So definitely doing a good job on the rebound as well. And this is starting to feel like any man's game when otherwise it was Brett Hollinday starting off with a 3-0 lead.
Good 7 mark there from Brett as he's starting to early on, right? It's only been 6 starts that he's thrown, but it's starting to feel more like he's able to kind of keep control. John, though, has turned it on to a new gear. Let's see if he can continue that.
He would certainly like to, but that's always easier said than done in these scenarios. These guys have such a long battle in front of them, and you'll find yourself slipping in and out of the right gear on those handful of nights where you stay in that same gear the whole time. Amazing.
One of the best dressed players in the dart game, Brandon Neal, saying plot twist 4-3 John at the break. So he thinks John rattles off these next 2 legs.
Honestly, I don't think that's an unfair assessment. Does he take the hero dart here? This would be quite the swing. He does. I don't think he liked how his flights were crossed and took the switch, but definitely short arm to that 20 a little bit there. Can I just say, by the way, Sean,
yeah, buddy.
Warms my heart more than seeing a good old bathroom mirror selfie from Brandon Neal. That TOC finale felt complete when I saw that.
I know, and I talked to him earlier in the week, and asked to see the belt, which is obviously an awkward thing to ask another dude, but since it's Brandon, it's fine. And he was like, he was like, I actually left it. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Wait, he really forgot the one thing that we constantly bring up, that and the fact that it's Omaha.
Oh,
there's a good find.
I don't know if you saw Alex's post last night, but let's talk about it a little bit because it's really funny that he did all the math and figured it all out. The Grand Slam, which he did qualify for, congratulations, this past weekend at the Continental Cup. Really excited to see what he can do in the Grand Slam. I think that he is going to be a really tough 4th qualifier in whatever group he gets in, but that happens to fall on the 3rd place match potential of the CSC Challenger Series Division 1, and that is Ram Guevara Jr. So it would be pretty weird that the 2 times that Ram would have to have played Alex would have to forfeit.
So what that tells me is Ram Guevara decided last year was his year. The CSI, the CSC, all these accomplishments, his comeback tour, and then this year to try to keep up with that momentum, he is now resorting to paying off players. Is that that's what you're saying here?
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, very interesting how that will shape up because obviously, I mean, to be able to play in an event that prestigious, as much as I know Alex Holman legitimately does want to win this title, there is so much North American clout that is built up around him being a CSC title holder. I feel like as much as the prize money is nice, the bragging rights always taste better, especially in Division 1, you feel like. But yeah, very crazy. I like what Mike Carter said, which is you can just forfeit now. We don't have to play it.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you got to shoot your shot there in that case, right? Brandon, you're going to be wrong though, as it is 4-2 lead now for Brett. Only a 4-6-3 to a 4-1-4 in that one. So a little bit scrappy. And I say a little bit scrappy, even though Brett's average heading into this is a 4.69. It's 0.06 difference, but that's a scrappy leg versus how they've been throwing so far.
Yeah, and it's important to level set a little bit with averages when you're looking at them. Yes, of course, the average game, if you're averaging a 4.69, you shoot a 4.6. Yeah, you're within the expected range. But really, what that means is when you win, you're winning in the 5+, and you lose a couple of games throwing in the low 4s. That's what that should actually mean, because you need to be able to boss these legs. Throwing a 4.6 on the average leg doesn't get you that. Well, instead, throwing a 5.0 for majority of the leg and maybe missing a bull or two, that's what will win you more.
Yeah, absolutely. And only a 2-mark start from John on his honeypot. This could get tough.
Oh, contesting the X. Bold move on the strategy, and he only finds a 3. I normally am a big fan of contesting any X on the dartboard, except in this exact scenario where it's an X on the 19s with open 20s. And John's just going to go ahead and reverse.
And that'll work.
Sean, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course you can.
Who's Jim Nance?
He is a play-by-play commentator. Probably one of the greatest of all time. So it's a good. That was a good compliment.
Oh, I'll take that. Thanks, Blake. I personally more of a Sid Waddell guy, but teach their own.
Well, Sid is Sid. You don't get better than Sid.
It's true. There's a video I've been wanting to make lately, but basically every time I see like a retro video game store, I go in there because there's a PDC darts game that came out right around like 2008, and then there was another one like 2012. But I don't want to buy it online. I don't want to just buy it to buy. I want to find it. I want to record myself finding the game I've been looking for and then play through it. The most exciting part is the pre-recorded Sid Waddell lines from commentary in the game.
I love that. Yeah. Listen, there will never be a better darts commentator in the history of darts. It doesn't matter. Sid will always be the voice. Yeah. Good. Love it. I agree with you entirely.
You've been agreeing with me a lot tonight, Sean. Are you okay?
No, obviously not. I think anyone can see that, but I just am really enthralled with this battle. We will go to the break after this leg. John just going to close. Oh, is he just going to close the 18s? Yeah. This is where Brett gets scrappy, though. We haven't seen him have to do this yet, but those 16s and 15s can really, really be big darts for Brett. Usually.
Well, he was going to hit a 9 until you cursed him there. No, I wholeheartedly agree that those are his turnaround moments. That really is one of the highlights of his game. Some people, I myself start off legs incredibly well and typically fall off pretty hard by the end, losing focus. Brett seems to be the inverse of that. In general, just keeps a good consistency throughout. But in this case, not going to shine through. And John's going to go ahead and hit a big 6 mark here to get into a good position to reduce this to a 1 leg difference.
By the way, to everyone being like, Tim said, Nick is going to save this one as one of his best commentary nights ever. So many agreements. First of all, me agreeing with him does not make his commentary better or worse. I want that to be perfectly clear. But second of all, it's because I'm really not paying attention to what he's saying. As John's about to make it 4-3. He does make it 4-3. 5.14 from John Edwards does raise that average up as we head into our break. Nick, what's been surprising so far?
Well, it's honestly, I don't know if I can call this surprising or not. We've seen this season have a particular rhythm, of players starting off with big leads, and then by the time it gets to the break, the leads reset, and it seems like we're falling parity with that tonight. I really do believe that this is any man's game. They both, Brett and John, call this as a 9-7 game. Let's see who's right in that, because I think that's about the right score line. And these interviews, folks, are fantastic because both these players are sitting next to each other. It got goofy, it got weird, it got great, and I'm excited to see this. What do you say, Sean?
Let's head to the interviews, and we'll be right back with the conclusion of the King Seat match right after this.
Bye, guys. We'll miss you.
Join here for the King Seat match of the CSC Challenger Series Division 2. I have John Edwards and Brett Hollinday here. And first off, John, what bar and vendor are you playing for?
I play out of the Q and Feather again, and I play for A League Sioux City.
And Brett?
I play Old Legends Bar and MCC, Midwest Coin Concepts.
Well, we're filming this out here at TOC, but it feels a little different, right? With the CSC, it's so remote and everything else. You guys are face-to-face right now. I mean, how are you guys feeling about your matchup here for the King Seat?
We might want to fight right now. I don't know. Just kidding.
So how do you feel about the matchup, though? I mean, how does it feel to see your opponent face-to-face in a show that's normally remote?
No, I think this is going to be a fun match. I truly believe he does have a higher average, but I believe I can pick it up a little bit and play a little bit better and keep up with him.
And John, I mean, Brett just mentioned it there. You have the higher average right now. You're in good form. I mean, do you think that's indicative of you getting the win in this matchup here?
I can't really bank on the average I've been shooting. I mean, I could fall off. He's obviously got the firepower to step it up. So, I mean, I can't bank on it. I hope it continues, but, you know, you never know. That's Division 2. It's always good matches, great matches, and, you know, anybody can have a night.
All right, I'm going to do something I don't normally ever do because you guys are next to each other. Brett, what's going to be the scoreline in your guys' matchup? Yeah, look him in the eyes when you tell him. Let him know.
It's going to be 9-7.
Me? Or you? Okay, I was going to say 9-7, obviously, the good guys.
And then, Brett, you're right here. You're one match away from making another finals appearance and in the running still to be a two-time title holder, something we've never seen in Division 2. Is that starting to, like, creep on your mind when you're playing, or is it something you kind of just think about after the fact?
No, actually, I'm thriving on it now. I'm like, I got to get this. Somebody has to do it, right? And between everybody, Corey Beck's going to come back and meet me in the King Seat. I mean, in the final match.
So you're saying you're not only going to beat John in the King Seat, but he's going to lose in the third place match to Corey Beck. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I probably did say that, yeah.
And John, what do you think about that? Are you trying to...
Well, I'm going to do my best to make sure that don't happen either way. But, yeah, it's going to be a great match. Brett's a great competitor. You know, he could care less about averages. I know he could care less about averages, so, you know, it's just about bringing my game when it's time.
And any friends, fans, family, or sponsors you want to thank here, John?
I got my sponsors here, and then obviously I always thank all my friends, and the biggest thing is my family. Without their support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Big shout out to my wife who's down here with me. You know, she's the best, and she's standing right over there. Let's flip the camera around. No.
And Brett?
Yeah.
Any friends, fans, family?
I want to thank all my sponsors. Okay, but
Legends Bar.
Well, yeah, maybe I own that. Yeah, there's a problem there.
I know.
No, I just want to thank all my friends, family, all the dart players. They're incredible. We have a great group that comes up and watches. So, yeah, I especially want to thank my wife. She's done great for me. I'll tell you a little story. About a month ago, I was choking, and I was thinking I was going to die, and she picked me up and gave me the Heimlich maneuver, and I owe my life to her right now.
Wow.
Well, that was tough to beat.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Well,
So-
one up in the interview already. Right? Jokes aside, boys, we're excited to see the King Seat match. Or I'm going to wish you nothing but the best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. You're watching the CSC Challenger Series. Yep.
I'm Brett Hollinday. You're on the CSC Challenge Series.
Ooh, perfect.
Enjoy 15% off our October Dart of the Month special, the Target Japan Black Mark Dragon 3.0 darts, all month long, and bring your game to the next level with its fierce design and performance. These darts feature a front-loaded barrel with tons of milling and knurling that mimic the rough scales of dragon skin for different grip reference points throughout the dart. Finished with the sleek black coating, they'll fit right into anyone's dart collection seamlessly. As a bonus, the entire Target Japan Black Mark series will also be 15% off this month, including the Heracles model, which is currently one of our top 10 best-selling darts. You can also get a chance to win your choice of a Target Tacoma Shell Dart wallet in the color teal, purple, gray, blue, or black with our monthly raffle. How do you enter? Just purchase our October Dart of the Month special and you'll automatically get entered. The giveaway ends November 1st, so don't miss out on your chance for free stuff. Tap the banner on our homepage at atozdarts.com to shop the Dart of the Month, and don't forget, we ship internationally. Best of luck to everyone.
Welcome back to the second half of the King Seat match, Division 2 of the CSC Challenger Series, brought to you by Partner Boning Darts. Sean Green, Nick Teixeira. Nick, those interviews were great. Brett and John looked like they were having a fantastic time at TOC, and it is really fun to see how those guys interact with each other off the hockey.
Yeah, no, it was really fun to see them be so energetic. They were so excited about the idea of doing it together. Something where Brett Hollinday has to be getting used to, because he's done a couple interviews with Corey Beck sitting basically right next to him as well. So, these guys were having a lot of fun with it, and you could tell that they were having a good time when we did that interview, and they were being so goofy. I was like, did you guys prep some of these bits in here? Or nope, you guys are just like this. Got it. We're fired. They're going to take our jobs.
You could not have timed the look at each other, look away, look at it, look away, and look at each other, look away. Like they did 3 in a row brilliantly, and never once did they actually see each other looking at each other. It was really impressive.
Yeah, I wonder if they realize that they did that to this day. It's incredible. I'm going to have to clip that out later.
So, yeah, go.
No, you.
Mine has nothing to do with this.
Okay. What is it?
All right. So speaking of the double takes back and forth, obviously this past weekend, we did a pre-show at the Ben Franklin Bridge, right in front of the Delaware River, with myself, Peter Cetera, and Anthony Eugenia. And we ran through the whole what we're going to do, right? We have 2 microphones, 3 people. I'm going to hand it over to Pete. Pete's going to do this, and then he's going to stay with the microphone and answer the next question. Well, I wasn't really paying attention, and I thought he had answered the second question already. So I went to grab the microphone, and he shook his head and didn't want to give it to me. And so then I grabbed it from him anyway, and then I realized that it wasn't the right thing. And so I went to hand it back to him, and then Will was like, "Nope, we're going to cut that, but we are going to keep that for bloopers."
I was wondering why I saw one of the posts on there. I saw Peter say, "Stop stealing my microphone, Sean."
That's what it was. Yeah, exactly.
I will say,
it looks funny.
I've been on a little bit of a quest in my career to do work for every acronym in the North American darts community, and as we get
boom goes the dynamite from Brett Hollinday.
And I was happy that I got to edit a couple of those interviews that played on the beginning of the show. So I'm counting it by technicality, even though it only took me 5 minutes to do, and it was a one-off thing.
Listen, no, you were on the list of the rundown. You had a specific job of editing listed there. So you absolutely can count that.
Yeah, that's fair. I was on the phone with somebody from the CDC, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to be added to the chat?" And I was like, "No. I have no time to actually commit to anything. I'll do this one thing so I can get the brownie points and add it to my resume." But no, it's
Well,
great stuff
listen.
over there. That Continental Cup, man. I mean, that's an amazing term. That and the cross border. The cross border is my personal favorite for like North American. Like as a viewer, I just get to sit back, watch. I usually go to my dad's house and we sit back, make some food, and watch the cross border. It's one of my favorites.
I'm not announcing anything yet, but cross border this next year is going to be, it's going to be something else. I can tell you that much.
Can you Tom Holland or Mark Ruffalo this a little bit? Can we get a little spoilers here?
No. I don't listen. I like my position with the CDC, and I like being privy to information. And if I tell any hints or anything like that, it'll blow it. But let's just say that we should have a very, very, very good crowd for the cross border this next year.
All right. Well, that's a fun fact right there. As Will would say, all right then.
Well, okay.
God, that was incredible. Incredible stuff. Just like this matchup is shaping as Brett coming off strong out of the break. And while, yes, John did recover it to a 1-leg deficit, it was in the way where it would make him against the darts after the break. And Brett's wasting no time. 5.86, 5.14. Again, no alarm bells. If I'm averaging over a 5, I know there's going to be opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And Brett's doing a great job here of keeping the separation. John still has to break his throw one more time. Anyway, good old Offspring. My first concert ever, by the way.
Really? Mine was Paul McCartney.
That's a good one too. Yep, the Offspring. And yeah, I don't know what we were saying, but yep.
Completely lost the train there.
The train's been gone for a while.
Left the station. Much like this leg for John, even if he does collect the bulls, won't be enough for Brett to not have an opportunity to go ahead and finish this leg out, get another 2 legs separation, and put it 5-3.
Well, Jason Watt in the chat, dropping a couple of potential hints. I will say that I can pronounce that certain area for sure, but I would say most can't. That'd be really cool.
I have a guess, and I don't even
challenge
know
at Madison Square Garden. 5.17 from Brett Hollinday in that one. It's now 5-3 Hollinday.
So now it's starting to get to the point where John A can't afford another throw of his to get broken. I think that's the most imperative thing here, first off. But B, he really needs to, again, get that momentum stopping leg, right? Those last couple legs for John, in the legs 3 through 7, he only had 1 leg below a 5. And that's the pace that he needs to maintain. He needs to maintain consistent and tough pacing and hope that Brett does not get enough red hot legs against the darts.
Yeah, you're right. And
thank you.
I'm gonna take that to an extra level and say that John has to just turn on a new gear here. And he has to hold his throw right now, which he's doing fantastically. Boom goes the dynamite from Brett Edwards, or from John Edwards.
Brett Edwards coming to the line.
Ridiculous.
John Hollinday coming up now. John Hollinday, it kind of has a ring to it. I'm not gonna lie.
It does actually. Brett Edwards does too, to be fair. Now we're gonna mess it up for a long time.
Yeah, it's off the rails, folks.
Anyway, John putting in a lot of work here, but he's gonna have to do it against the throw. Hold his throw every time, but against the throw, he's going to have to throw in a leg kind of like this, 6.67, a 6.5. Brett's so scrappy that it's hard to break his throw. He's already done it once. Can he do it a second time?
I mean, the answer is always yes, they can. It's just about when. Win is all that matters, because we know the why. They want to win this and get to the finals. They know the where. We're over here at Q and Feather and Legends Bar. But it's the when. When are you going to hit that shot in that leg? And you know who? You want to be you. That almost sounded good, but then I just kind of lost it there towards the end.
Hey, you almost found it.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, Sean.
So anything you can be close on.
John taking the extra moment here, setting himself at the line. I like this.
I do too. Especially because Brett's a rapid player.
Now, I am surprised he walked off after the first start, but that dart too has actually been his biggest struggle tonight, it seems so far.
Going to 16s? Yeah, you saw his eyes kind of change there.
I think that's a perfectly fine turn. Forces Brett to pick a house and build up as tall as he can. And this won't be a very tall house. Big Bad Wolf coming to blow it down here, and John Edwards.
Yep, you said it yourself. That one's made out of straw.
I did not say that.
Well,
I implied it.
fair.
I love commentating with you, Sean Green. It's absolutely a pleasure, buddy.
John, coffin shot effectively.
I would have to agree. This is a good leg from John. It's a dominant hold. That's the type of stuff you need. There was no question for John for pretty much all after the first 2 rounds of this leg what was going to happen, despite Brett starting off just fine. Cooling down quite a lot in those last couple darts, but this is exactly what John needs to start producing consistently tonight.
Yeah, and he's going to rattle off this one.
On dart number 3. Dart number 4.
Well, yeah, not yet. Yeah, Jeremy's right. I made an inference based off your implication.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't wear fur coats.
But do you wear the boots with the fur?
Apple bottom jeans. That was our worst joke of tonight.
All right. John made that a lot shakier than it needed to be. But a 4.63 from John Edwards gets the job done here in leg number 9, 5-4.
And wow, didn't get those words out. Shut up, Sean. They just did not come out at all. Yeah, if you look at the averages now, John averaging a 4.76 to Brett's 4.96, only 0.2 separation, and a completely different dichotomy compared to the first 3 leg spread, which was at a 1.5 difference. You expected this to return to the means, but now this is starting to get into dangerous territory for Brett. Again, needs to win with domination on his throw, so that way, and vice versa, John does as well. You want to transfer the pressure to the other guy.
Let's see what Brett can do. Only a 4-mark opening from him. Well, he's going to do pretty well here. Boom goes the dynamite. Brett Hollinday, another 9. We did not do an over-under for 9 marks, but I feel like they've exceeded expectations.
Yeah, they're at 10 right now with plenty of room left in this match, probably close to 20. Yeah, I would say that they're on pace for higher than expected, and it's easy to say when we didn't give a number at the beginning. Vince Roy saying, looking forward to seeing you this weekend, Nick. Don't know why you're catching strays. Second best commentator tonight. All right. It's great.
Thanks, Vince. Man, you're going to have so much fun in Kenosha.
I am looking forward to being out there. Only a less than 2 hour drive from my house, so really nice to have tournaments that are not far at all and aren't these super big distance commitments. I'd love to see that. I heard it's great vibes, great energy out there, and Jeremy Byrne has a mustache ready to be combed. Not by me. I don't know why I said that.
You're going to comb his mustache? Another 9 mark. Boom goes the dynamite again for Brett Hollinday. 6.25 in this one. 11 9 marks. And Brett has the majority of them, right? By a lot?
Yeah, he has 8-3 right now. Now, everyone in chat, you guys have been cracking us up tonight, but I know there's a lot of you very quiet in the background. Who's going to win? Right now, leave a comment, Brett or John. From this position, it's about to be 6-4 with that coffin shot from Brett Hollinday. But who will win? Who are you guys picking? Right now, leave a comment. Let them know because they will watch us back and they're going to read these.
That's a lot of pressure.
If you're a real friend, you'll comment. If not, you must hate them.
Wow.
I don't make the rules.
Look there. Chad needs a doubles partner for Kenosha.
You can have Will Stewart, so I don't have to deal with him.
That's fair. 6.38 from Brett Hollinday. Again, he's going to have to do that against the throw. No, he's going to have to do that. If he does that with the throw the rest of this way, he wins. John's going to have to do that against the throw. Angie Edwards picking John Edwards. That's a smart decision. For sure. A lot of Edwards, a lot of Brett. I love the way this is going. Gina picking Brett. At least the better halves are picking you. The right answers there. That'd be really rough if they pick the opposite.
Well, it could be like one of those things where it's like my grandma is a Ohio State fan, and we don't let her watch the games because she's a jinx. So who knows? It could be like one of those like opposite day things. She just reads her books during the games. As that's a 9 mark from Brett Hollinday to start things off here. And what is probably one of the most important legs of tonight. This is a must-win leg for John. I think if this goes 7-4, it starts to become too much work to do, and the odds are heavily favored. If John wins this leg and keeps it within a 2-leg to 1-leg separation, things are still possible. This could be a big answer.
And it is. Back to back. Boom goes the dynamite between both of our players. John answers. And is Brett going to continue? Oh, that is unlucky on Dart 2. This is fantastic right now. Absolutely. Oh, sorry, Angie. Brother. My bad.
Adam saying no glasses on the head for Brett. Yeah, his forehead does not need to be a 6 head tonight. That is correct.
OMG. He does usually have the glass on top of his head, though.
He does. Do you think that affects his balance? Like, it's like I can't throw with a watch on my left hand. Like, I actually just can't. I'm right-handed, but if I have a watch on, I actually just can't throw if it's on my left. I'll just take it off every time. Lost a lot of watches and bars that way.
That's probably in your head, to be honest with you.
I didn't say it wasn't.
Brett has done well to withstand the pressure from his opponent. John,
I don't like the
trying
shot
to take
selection.
control.
I don't like that. Listen, it's a 5 on the 17s. I like it in that sense. But after that first start and got the point he secured, I would have preferred a 1-2-3 punch in this scenario. I think Brett has a lot more ability to gamble, and this is going to be a big shot incoming. 9 mark, left on the table, and take it.
Boom goes the dynamite. Wow.
God, that made me look so smart. Thanks, Brett.
Listen, I get that all the time from people that are like, man, how'd you call that out ahead of time? It's like, these guys are so talented. It's just so easy. Just always say that they're going to do the amazing thing. And shockingly, most of the time they do the amazing thing.
And it's just conservative play from John is what cost him. And there he does go for the swing with a 5-point lead and doesn't convert, going outside on the double. I don't love what the situation's shaping up to be right now. Brett doesn't have to take any risks. So he's not going to. He's just going to continue to do these classic big shots. My goodness, another 9 mark with a last start close. And all John had to do earlier was hit a 1-2-3 punch to mitigate that risk, or at least lower it.
Brett has 3 or 4 9 marks in this leg. There have been 4 in this leg, with 1 from John. So he has 3 to John's 1 in just this leg alone. In a leg that you mentioned is so important. And we say it time and time again, that's the difference between the good players and the great players. The great players can do what they need to do when everything's on the line.
Yeah, the absolute collection here from Brett Hollinday. And it's not like John's throwing bad. I think that while that John selection in that given moment might have cost him this leg. I mean, his last leg was a losing 5. And then before that, he had a 4.63 that was well above a 5, but then messed around on the Bulls. Like, he's in the right zip code, but unfortunately can't find the right house at the right time.
Yeah, a 6-4-7 from Brett Hollinday against the throw, and it is now a 7-4 lead from the Minnesotan. The legend trying to become the first player to win a second Division II title. He will be in prime position if he rattles off 2 more legs by the end of this.
Brett Hollinday in the last leg, 6.38, then a 6.47 to back it up. That's a 1-2 punch if I've ever seen it. Currently averaging a 5.22 to John's 4.76. John's plateaued a little bit in this moment while Brett's regaining that momentum. Again, the peaks and valleys. Right now, John needs to find a peak and put Brett in a valley.
Yeah, right now Brett is burying John alive.
And you saw, we saw it. You guys didn't get a chance, but we can see the players in between the turns. And I mean, John was back there. He took his hat off. He was kind of like waving, trying to blow some cool air on himself, trying to resettle himself into position. But even it could be hot in that bar. Who knows? But I know for a fact that it's also a sign that there's other things on your mind. You're starting to feel the heart palpitate a little bit, and you need to snap yourself out of it real quick, real fast.
Yeah, as soon as you start pressing, is the time that you start missing. We see it time and time again. John, though, in the driver's seat here. Brett can afford an off leg. Like, he has done all of the work he needs to do, and then some. He has bonus work that he's done, as John is 2 breaks down from taking this to a last leg decider.
Yeah, exactly right. It's hard to discount the fact that Brett, again, doesn't have to take any risks, can kind of just play free and do whatever he's going to do like that.
Unbelievable, man. I'm tired of saying it. That's how many they've hit, and more specifically, how many Brett's hit. He has 12, right?
12-4. Yeah, it's very impressive play. Brett gets to play free. John continues to feel the pressure. And I think it's all about starting off on the wrong note. Yes, once John got that first leg, it felt like it was a different matchup. But he still started off with a 3-leg deficit. The type of stuff that eats at your mind, thinking that guy might be the better player today, is he's going to go ahead and hit back-to-back 9 marks. The legend, Brett Hollinday, proving he's more than just adorable.
Yeah, boom goes the legend there for Brett Hollinday. John has to feel like he's playing horrible, and he's not at all. That's what makes Brett so brilliant in this match, is he is single-handedly dismantling his opponent. Every single triple he hits. Oh, almost goodness. 3 in a row.
He could still have 3 legs in a row at a 6+ right now if he takes it out in the next round. Brett, averaging a 5.22 now, is on track to potentially have the highest Division II single game average, which is right around that 5.3 range, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're close. You have to be close to correct.
Finds the double. Doesn't pad the average. It's going to go ahead and hit the bull. But now putting himself in pole position in this matchup. Nothing John can do. Even if he loads up the bulls, all he can hope to do is add a dart to Brett's throw. Hope that he somehow trips on the way up to the board and gets a free swing, which is not in the cards.
Yeah, it's Brett's bar, so he's moved everything out of the way that he could possibly trip on. I mean, this is a walloping right now at this point. 5-5-5 from Brett Hollinday. 8-4 lead. It was 4-3 Brett heading into the break, man.
Yeah, and now, I mean, walloping. I mean, he's practically renaming John to Molly. Molly whopped.
He's right now. Brett is playing with his toys. It seems like.
Okay.
Like, you know, toys is John's nickname.
Yeah, no. I just felt like we could have
Like
like
a cat playing
workshopped
with
that
toys.
one a bit more.
Cat toys. I should have cat toy. I don't know. Whatever.
fair.
John's gonna hit a 9 mark here to start. Boom goes the dynamite.
Oh my goodness. Good recovery from John, but you have work to do. We have not seen an 8-4 comeback to a last leg decider except for all the way back in season 5 with Mike Maloney, Ram Guevara, where it was an 8-4 deficit. And when we saw that, it led to 53-9 marks. So guys, we're on track for a great night in front of us here. John Edwards needs to win 4 on the spin to bring it to that last leg decider. He'll get the start in this leg, and if he wins this one, he'll get the start in the next. And he'll have 2 legs against the throw. Brett Hollinday feeling ecstatic at this position.
Yeah, he's in a driver's seat, obviously. Yeah, Philly's in the chat. Defending champion says Brett is tough, man. I lost a tough battle to him in the second round. Yeah, I mean, we believe you. We've seen it here. Corey Beck did move on, winning his match. Although I don't know who he played because
Yeah, I don't know if this
has
was just
no
out of
opponents
date.
tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gina, who did he play? Who did he play? Let us know.
Give us the tea.
Hey, by the way, I should probably do my job a little bit here for a second. And more darts are coming your way with the latest shot launch, featuring the new Badlands barrel series with 4 intricate designs that'll rev up any competition. Tap the banner on A to Z Darts homepage to take home your new shot darts today. And let's give a huge shout out to Danny Young getting sponsored by Shot. That's a really cool thing for the guy from Dallas who really made a name for himself in the CDC this year. Boom goes the dynamite. John Edwards' second 9 of this leg. And, well, he's not going to go down without a fight. That is for sure.
Yeah, not toying around and hitting the big shot. But, of course, return to sender. Almost in the cards there for Brett. This will be a good leg for John. He'll, again, not only need to win this leg in what is a very good 7-5 plays a 6. Great standard, amazing. But he needs to do it again going first. Another dominant leg going in to the games against the throw, right? It's all about riding the momentum, riding the wave, because the person sitting at match point only has match point pressure so long when they get this many attempts at winning legs.
Interesting. Well, yeah, look at this from John. Oh, he's not going to get the 7+ average, but a 6.53 in that one. Can he keep that up for the next few legs? That's really the question here. But you mentioned it earlier, PPD player advantage rule in effect now. It will be John going first once again since he is down 2 or more legs, aka 3.
Yeah, again, needs to win this with absolute heat and fire. He needs another high 5, low 6 kind of leg, regardless of what Brett does. If Brett does that, then he needs to be above it, of course. But it's all about getting momentum. And unfortunately, the 20 is not being his friend right now. Only gets a 3 in the open. And Brett Hollinday can set the tone of what could be the final leg of this matchup if he hits a big opening. Looks like Corey did play Chris Alexander. If you guys are curious on Combi Sport, some of these matches might not be fully up to date because usually the PPD does approve them. And we just came off a TOC week. So there could be some slight hiccups there in the actual showing of the bracket. Which, hey, Chris Alexander getting a 5th 6. Props to the little Pelican there on that one.
Yeah, the Yenza getting back into Division 2 of the CSC Challenge Series and making a good run.
And it makes this very interesting because if Brett wins this match, and you heard Brett literally talk about this to John's face, Brett wants to win and he wants Corey to come back, which means there's an absolute possibility that we could have two champions in the final and have our first 2-time CSC champion.
Yeah, I mean, he said that right with John standing next to him. That was impressive. I don't think that he knew what he was saying as John was standing right next to him, to be honest with you. But I don't think he knew the implications of what he was saying. But John handled it like a pro. And right now, listen, Corey is Brett's best friend. Brett was probably annoyed that he had to send him to the loser side of the bracket. And yeah, Corey getting the job done against Chris Alexander.
And a player like Corey Beck, right? And he's the type of guy that when he loses, he wants to either lose to the winner or go back to beat the same guy. And that's exactly where his head's going to be at. I know for a fact when I've lost a tournament, I feel a little bit better if that guy goes up and wins it. If I lost to the same guy twice one tournament, then I at least know that it was their day. Or in the CSC case, days.
Usually I lose to opponents that end up going like 3 and out, and the one win was against me, but that's fine. Someone's got to be the punching bag of a bracket.
That being said, let's talk about this a little bit more. Dwayne Johansson, Dennis Sandin, Devin Hunter, and Corey Beck. Dwayne Johansson and Dennis Sandin played, so Dwayne did move on. So you have Dwayne, Devin Hunter, and Corey Beck sitting over there. You gotta give us some nods. I think Corey and Devin looking pretty tough on that bottom side to come back as well. On top of the fact of John or Brett, whoever loses this match, being that 3rd place, there's still a lot of implications about who can win this, and it could really be anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, time flies in the CSE, right? We're already going to be at the top 4 next week.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Well, Brett needed to convert on a big turn there to try to go ahead and get this done in this leg. But John has a good opportunity to go ahead and seal up the corner pockets. Again, a moment where you need to be calculated on the shot delivery like this. Chooses to play it a little bit safe. I don't mind it in this scenario, especially now.
Yeah, I love it. Great 7 mark from John. And at this point, he can't play with fire anymore. I like him pointing a little extra. I like him keeping his opponent at arm's length. The problem is that he's gonna have to break Brett's throw twice in a row here.
And if you're going off the stats, Brett's saving up his average for the next leg. Dangerous.
I like the confidence here though from John. Start on the bowl.
I love everything about the way he shot that. Again, exerting confidence. You said it best there, Sean. It's all about that. He has to put on a strong front and then back it up with some great tungsten. John to go ahead and hit 215s. Seal it.
Now the work begins. 4.96 there from John. Great leg, but I feel like he's going to have to put 2 darts or 2 rounds in the 6s back to back. And hey, I just saw this. Austin Braswell, new shot player. Congratulations to Austin. That's awesome, man.
Shout out to my former league partner, Austin Braswell. Love to see that. Cool. Yeah, I love the thing that Shot's been doing right now with the collabs, the official collabs. So those the Booyah Austin Braswell shot barrels. I love the idea behind something like that a lot.
Yeah, and of course, I just mentioned the Badlands collection that just came out. They have the Crush, the Rustin, the Tova, and the Sheriff. As those barrel options.
It's pretty good options. I love that's a job that I could do. Like, I could sit in a room and just come up with random names for darts. I would look up old dictionaries, maybe even mythological books, and go through and I'd be like, yeah, this one's called the Optiba. I could do that.
Ooh, the Octoba, for sure. The Octoba.
Yeah, thank you.
Ian asking, what's overall NPR currently?
So right now, John has gone up to 4.85, so hitting right where his average has been for the season, just a little bit shy. Brett hanging at a 5.17 right now, man.
I mean, at the end of the day, if this goes the way of Brett, John can't feel too bad. He's throwing his average, just getting whooped.
Yes, but those first 3 legs, I even though his last of those first 3 was a 5.27 losing average, just starting off with a 3-0 deficit, these guys are good enough to know how much that can weigh in, how much work that caused. Because now the rest of the match, John's been chasing and he's gotten close. He's gotten it back within one leg a couple times. But that's going to be it. Yes, he's not going to be as disappointed knowing the fire that he's going against, but he's going to be disappointed that he enabled Brett to do what he did. That's my
I like
take.
the way you put that.
Thank you.
John needs a 9. Now he's got to step over and at least hit a 7. Yeah, it's so difficult after that first start.
I thought you were going to change it to now he needs a 4. I thought we were just going to keep rounding down on that equation.
No, the 4 mark would not have helped at all. And Brett has the opportunity here to really take control and maybe even close out this match. Not going to do that.
Again, I don't love the shot selection there this time from Brett. Here's the thing. If Brett goes up there and nails the 317s, it still forces another 9 out of John. Now this is a little bit of a lower uplift for him because he doesn't have to focus on opening up a new corner pocket. And I think Brett can play a little silly with it, knowing that if he loses this, he'll still get the start in the next and has the insurance policy of a last leg decider. But
those 2 darts are going to be brutal.
Well, what's really brutal is the fact that Brett's throwing under a 4 going first, and John should absolutely be breaking this throw, breaking it so much that the doctor can't even put a cast around it.
Yeah, this should be a compound fracture. And then some.
I was never good at fractions.
I said fracture.
I never seen Frasier.
All right, John, going to look at the 16s here to see what he can do. Brett did his job. 102-point lead. And John cannot get away from the neighbors right now.
Yeah, he is very friendly, but he needs to start saying no to the people asking for sugar at his door, because now Brett Hollinday looking for a coffin shot to seal this one away.
Does he stand there? No, goes back to the points. This is ensuring that you win this leg. That's what Brett's doing here, and I love it.
He doesn't have to take any risk. He doesn't have to go ahead and stay within 9 mark range. And this is some great play for Mr. Hollinday, putting the pressure on the back of John, who is feeling every bit of it in this moment, which, again, going to be disappointed because of how great of a season he's been having. But he's still going to be in the season, right? He's still going to have that opportunity in the 3rd place match. And he's still going to have an opportunity potentially to be in the finals after defeating whoever comes up to play him if things go in his favor. But tonight, Brett Hollinday, he brought the sauce.
Yeah, Brett has shot phenomenally. Again, John's going to kick himself in this leg. Down 8-6. He's throwing a 3.71 to Brett's 3.88, which is going to be Brett's lowest average of the entire day. And John's not able to capitalize on it. And that's going to be frustrating. This is the one leg where I would say John did something wrong here, right? By not capitalizing on Brett's mistakes. But if you're Brett Hollinday, you got to feel really good about this king seat. And the potential to get the job done.
Well, and he mentioned it. Brett said it in his interview when I talked with him. He actually is thinking about the 2-time title holder in Division 2. That is something that nobody has done. That is something that he has had some pretty good looks at. And this would be by far his best look yet since his first title. It's kind of an insane thing to put that level of pressure thinking about that mark, but also, I mean, it's a cool accolade. So no one's done it.
Yeah. You're right. And Brett even mentioned it, that's something that is on his mind for sure. As you see the crowd gathered around, Corey's back there in the background. I can see his jersey as they will celebrate the king seat for Mr. Brett Hollinday. The legend is on top of the Division II bracket. And how about that, Nick? I hate to humble brag here for a second, but both of my favorites in Division I, Division II are the king seat holders in Division I and Division II. That never happens. And thank you to those two players for making me sound super brilliant.
You know, I love it when you pick one of the favorites and then get surprised when they do really well. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, we always like to try our best to predict everything. Famously, in the CSIs, I said I was going to predict every match correctly. The very first match that I predicted was wrong. So, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But tonight, 5.07 finishing average with 14 9 marks there for Brett to the 4.78 with 6 9 marks of John.
Brett, heading into this, 58 games played, had 33 9 marks. So the fact that he had 14 tonight and almost doubled, like almost got 50% more 9 marks, it's insane. He shot phenomenal tonight. That average was what again?
John shot 4.78 to Brett's 5.07.
And the 5.07 was with the 3-point something average in the last leg. That's just insane.
Yeah, it dropped from 5.25. That's where he was at.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Brett Hollinday.
The takeaway from tonight is Brett Hollinday is showing that his first championship was never a fluke, which is not something that was in doubt, but he's really confirming that. But two, John, he's the kind of player, and I have confidence in saying this, that will take a match like that, watch back the tape 100 times, and then come back to the board throwing at it like he's angry. Even though he's very sweet and very nice demeanor, he is going to play with that motivation, that fire, and I fear for whoever plays him in the third place match.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And really looking forward to seeing who gets the job done there. It's going to be a great end to Division II. I can tell you that much. 4 great players are left in this thing, or 5 right now, depending on who gets across that other match. It will be 4 great players. And any one of those 4 can really get the job done, unless Brett shoots like that, and then good luck, So hats off to Brett Hollinday getting the job done. And we're not sure what Monday's match is going to bring. It'll either be Kellen Sperlin, Ryan Jervis, or Mike Carter, Alex Spellman. I don't know about you, but either one of those sounds perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, no, there's not such a thing as a bad choice, which is why you should hit the notification bell right now, whether on YouTube or Facebook, to get notified, because we are live every Monday and Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, to round out these last 3 to 4 weeks of the CSC Challenger Series for Season 9 here.
Nick, I have very much enjoyed hanging out with you in the virtual booth tonight. And I know that you're about to go to Kenosha, and I hope you have a great, great trip and enjoy every second of it. And throw in a couple Boom Goes to Wisconsinites for me,
Absolutely. If you guys are looking for me, I have a name tag on. It'll be nice and easy to find me. I'm looking forward to being out there in Kenosha. Make sure to tune in to USA Darts. And of course, again, thank you all for tuning in tonight for these great matches from these top tier competitors.
See you next week, guys.